This is loud enough. I thought I'd add a bit extra to it. How are we? We're good? That sounded like crap. How are we? There we go. Thank you. Thank you so much for tonight. Thank you for coming tonight. I know it's a cold night and you give me your own time, which you'll never get back, because I want to make it the best hour that I can for each and every one of you. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Anthony. I've been in this industry for over 10 years. I've helped thousands of people improve their health. I am very passionate about this stuff, and I love talking about it. I love all the research that I constantly do. I love all the things that it can do for people, and I love what it can do for the quality of life for anybody who implements what I tell them to do, at least 80% of the time. Quick show of hands, who's my client here tonight? Thanks, guys. I love you so much. Thank you so much. Who's meeting me, seeing me for the first time tonight? Big round of applause. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Alrighty, so a little bit about me. Who am I? What do I do? And why is tonight really important for me? So with tonight, you're going to be learning a few different things. It might break the mold of what you're used to learning. So I'm going to preface from now, have an open mind. Have an open mind to the fact that you have so much more control over your own body than you think you do. And that the things that you do every single day play a bigger role. Great. It comes in threes, as I say. So that's number 2. So one more time and then we'll keep going. So what you need to know in terms of what we're going to talk about today is every single thing that you do in your life, in your day, significantly impacts how your body is. In particular, from a genetic standpoint. Who here has heard of the terms genes or genetics makeup before? Yeah? Cool. Who here has ever heard of the term epigenetics? Cool. So we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight and explain how that is actually something that each and every one of you can really understand, and that everything you do with everything you eat, your lifestyle, your stress management, your supplements, your sleep, how that plays a huge role on how certain genes turn on and how certain genes turn off. Okay, who here has heard of the word disease before? Who here has heard of the word lifestyle disease before? Yeah, this is what I'm going to be alluding to a lot of tonight. So this is why I'm saying have an open mind. I also want to preface, I'm not going to be making any claims. No claims are going to be made tonight. A lot of information is going to be thrown your way, but no claims are going to be made. Other than you have more control over your body than you think you do. Okay, so with the 6 things we're going to learn tonight, why genes aren't your destiny. So the real reason behind it runs in my family and why I don't really agree with that. I'm going to talk about what switches on and off certain genes within your body. We're also going to talk about why the gut affects literally every single aspect of you. We're going to talk about why sleep, or what sleep and stress really does to you. We're going to talk about how to test and not guess for these things. And then we're also going to talk about your next step. And we're going to map it out nice and simply for you, so you can understand what you can actually do from today, from tonight, from as early as tomorrow morning, that can have a positive impact on how your genes are expressed in your body. Alrighty, so like I said before, it's really important that I'm standing in front of you tonight, because just like each and every one of you, I was in your position. I was sitting where you were. I was learning off somebody like me, but the guy that I learned from was about 1,000 times smarter than I am. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I don't want you guys to think that I've never been somebody who's unhealthy. I've never been somebody who's never gone through any health struggle. I have. And this is what's made me so passionate about what I talk about. It's because I don't want people to suffer from what I suffer from, which is termed as an autoimmune disease. 16 years old, diagnosed with one, and I was healthy. I looked the part, I was active, I was playing 3 or 4 different sports at a very high level, and I looked the part, I looked healthy. My brother's here, my best friend of over 20 years is here, they will tell you I didn't look like somebody who was unhealthy. But how did I get diagnosed with autoimmune disease? You're going to find out a bit later. We're also going to talk about the fact that for me as an entrepreneur, a business owner, nobody really talks about the cost of entrepreneurship. Nobody does. Everyone thinks about somebody who runs their own business like they're cashed. Yeah, everyone does that. Tall poppy syndrome is my worst enemy. And for some reason in this country, everyone's got it. And the reason that I talk so passionately about entrepreneurship is because I value what being an entrepreneur can actually do for the people that are on the receiving end of the service. But the people on the receiving end of the service just sometimes don't actually understand that there's a cost to us entrepreneurs, and it comes to our health. We go all in with all of our customers. Why not I do? All in on our customers. We give you every single bit of us, and sometimes we leave ourselves last. Yeah, see a few nods in the room. Yeah, coming from the mothers in particular, right? We leave ourselves last, but there's a cost to that, to my health. Okay, and I went through about 2 to 3 years ago, I had probably the worst health I've ever had in my life. And it started to affect how I looked. And it started to impact how I was performing. I put a front on, like I had it all under control, but really I didn't. And my wife will attest to that, I really didn't. The anxiety was through the roof, the stress was through the roof, the sleepless nights were through the roof, then the body started to show. My autoimmune disease symptoms started to get worse. Then one day I just decided, and that one day was the day I held my son for the first time. I decided enough's enough. No more violin playing. Now somebody really depends on me, I need to shift. And I shifted in a big way. If you saw me 2 years ago, I was 15 kilos heavier and I wasn't muscle. Okay, and I didn't feel good, I didn't look good, I wasn't comfortable in anything I was wearing. Who can kind of relate to that? Hands up? Hi. Yeah, all of us can at some point, right? Fast forward 2 years, I'm a totally different person. Yes, physically, but here and obviously internally with my health. And I'm going to be talking about a lot of these things to you all today. Next slide for me, Jess, please. Sorry, guys, this is my wife. Just give her a big clap because I always put her on the spot. I always put her on the spot to do these random jobs. So the question everybody is always asking, and why I like to question things is, I always hear about the fact of, my dad had a heart attack at 50. Or it just runs in my family. Or I'm just built this way. It's just my genetics. I can't help it. And being in the health and fitness industry, a lot of men and women think that they can tell me what their body's like, but I'm the one that started it for 16 years. Okay? One of the biggest things that I always tell people is that most people just accept how they are. They just accept their genetics. This is me, this is how I am, I can't change it. From a DNA perspective, you can't actually change a lot from a DNA perspective, but you can change in a dramatic way how your body expresses, turns on, turns off certain genes. That's what we term as epigenetics. And I'm going to go through that very soon. Next slide for me, Jess, please. Before I continue, I want you guys to understand that your blueprint is not your sentence. So as I just alluded to in terms of DNA, your blueprint is not your sentence. You may have certain things, but that doesn't mean that that's your reality for the rest of your life. You have more control over your health than you think, and you always will. Okay, and the science supports it. I don't make this stuff up just to sound smart. There's a lot of research I do in this. The science actually supports what I'm saying. From every kind of disease that anybody can ever suffer from, all right, it all stems from one thing in particular. And I talk about this all the time. All of my clients are probably going to hear it again tonight and another 1,000 times throughout the rest of the year. Chronic inflammation. So I'm a big fan of these guys because they test and resolve chronic inflammation. And I'm a living example, and there's people going to get up tonight talking about it as well. Now, when we look at your DNA, okay, I want to give you guys a bit of info before we delve into it all. Your DNA is the instruction manual inside every single one of your cells. Your genes, they're sections of that instruction manual that tell your body what to build. Your genome is a complete set of instructions, all of them together. And your inheritance, you get half from your mum and you get half from your dad. But having a gene doesn't mean it gets switched on. Does that make sense? Is everyone with me? Yeah? So I get my looks from my mum, right? My beautiful looks from my beautiful mum who's here tonight. I'm really proud of that. My dad decided to not be here tonight because I asked him to do a testimonial, so he decided just to skip it tonight. He's on his way. He's preparing his testimonial. And I get my brains from my dad, taking nothing away from my mum. But a lot of those things, for many of the years in my life, a lot of my health was impacted in a significant way by my lifestyle. In particular, by how I wasn't managing my stress levels, even though I was only 15, 16, 17. My overall stress levels, my inflammation levels were through the roof. I had no idea. And most of us don't actually know that we got that chronic inflammation. It just sits there, real silent. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that as the slides go on. If you look at the bottom, if you look at this side of the screen, 99.9% of your DNA is identical to every other human being on the planet. But that 0.1% is what makes you unique. And your lifestyle decides what happens next. Who here gets excited when they know that their lifestyle can impact their health? Yeah? Who here gets a little bit nervous and scared and anxious? Right? You shouldn't be anxious. You should be excited because that gives you back what? Control. What have we always been told about our health and our bodies? Especially women over 40. It's all out the door for you now. It's out of your control. It is what it is. Right? Men over 40 as well. We get told the same thing. This is you. This is how it's going to be. If you feel like crap, it's just your age. Get over it. I disagree wholeheartedly. And I see it and I deal with it and I help a lot of people through the same things from a health perspective by educating on the fact that your lifestyle plays a bigger role than you think. Now, when it comes to that term epigenetics, like I mentioned, it's what gets switched on. When we look at a gene can easily be switched on and switched off. Now, if you look at the bottom here, I want you to think of it like this. Your genes are piano keys. Okay? Your lifestyle is who plays them, how hard they play them, and how often they play them. Are you guys with me? There's a thing that I learned from one of the doctors that I studied from. If you can make a real technical thing sound really easy for people to understand, you know what you're talking about. Who here understood a little bit better now when I give that analogy? Good, that means I'm smart, awesome. Trying to see if you guys are switched on, that's all. Now, when we look at this side of the screen here, a gene can be either switched on or switched off. I want you to really understand that. A gene can be switched on or switched off, and your lifestyle is the switch. Does anybody not know what is involved in their lifestyle? What things I'm talking about in particular? Who here knows? Who here has an idea? Raise a show of hands. All right, somebody yell out something to me. What's something in your lifestyle that can impact what genes get turned on and turned off? Nutrition, stress, yeah. Sleep. Food, yep. I like that. Your financial status, your overall stress and well-being, your exercise, your fitness levels, your movement, they're parts of your lifestyle, okay? Your water intake, all these things. Who here is a bit more conscious about their training than they have been over the last, say, 4 or 5 years? Good. All my clients say, get your hands up and get them high and proud, please. So everybody but my client put their hand up just then. Alrighty, so like I said before, you control more than you think, right? And as we all just said, when I asked that question, your nutrition, your training, your sleep, your stress, no one said inflammation, which I'm disappointed with. Inflammation and your supplementation, they're parts of your lifestyle. They're parts of the things that you do every single day, or you should be doing to some degree every single day. They impact significantly your genes. In particular, what gets turned on and what gets turned off. Yeah, this is why some people just always get sick. Have you noticed people that always get sick? There's one person in my family, I always tell them, you gave the flu, right? They always get sick, always get sick, always get sick. As soon as they took I'm not showboating here, as soon as I took my advice just to take a supplement and get a bit better sleep and fix their food, all of a sudden they weren't sick anywhere near as much. And when winter came around, they're like, hey, they haven't got the flu. I'm like, don't jinx it. Right? But I'm like, it's not, to me, it's not rocket science, but it makes me so happy that it can still have this great impact on people. All she did was take a vitamin D supplement. All she did was sleep a little bit better. All she did was just fix her fit up by 5%. And then all of a sudden, she wasn't as sick anywhere near as much. Who here would like to feel healthier, have better energy, have less brain fog, get up, jump about? All of you should put your hands up. What are you here tonight for? You're here tonight because I busted your balls, didn't you? Yeah. I appreciate that, but hopefully you take something away. All right, so food. Food is so much more important than we actually understand. And this is why I'm such a big believer and such a big fan of what food does from a genetic standpoint, in particular an epigenetic standpoint. Okay, who here knows the term calories in, calories out? Yeah, who here always just associates food with calories? You need to stop doing that if you are. Food is so much more than just calories. Food is signals, food is messages. This is why I love how a naturopath will work with somebody when it comes to their food. Right? Because I look at nutrition as medicine. Nutrition is nourishment. My clients and family say that a lot over the years. Nutrition nourishes the body because of what it actually gives the body, but more importantly, the messages and the signals that it tells the body to do. You have processed food, like for example, McDonald's or KFC, or anything that's, any of those cold meats that you get at Woolies or Coles that you think is actually meat when it's not. Those things are processed. There's a reason why you feel bad from those things. There's a reason why your stomach doesn't like those things. Listen to your body. Your body is very in tune with everything. It'll tell you what's going on. It'll tell you if it likes something or if it doesn't. Who here feels bloated after they eat certain foods? Straight away, that's your body telling you, don't eat this anymore. Even if it's chicken and broccoli. 9 times out of 10, broccoli bloats people significantly. Yeah? A lot of nightshades. Anybody know what a nightshade is? Yeah? So there's certain vegetables that we think are healthy, but they're nightshades. They're in the nightshade family. Some people don't actually like those kinds of foods. So an example of a nightshade is like capsicum. Okay, a lot of people they react to that because of the inflammation that it brings up in their system. Everyone's different. But listen to your body is what I'm trying to get at.
So nightshade, something that appears to be good but isn't on
Now, nightshade is a family of certain vegetables. Yeah. So when we look at certain B vitamins, so a lot of B vitamins are found in leafy greens, eggs, liver. That's why I love beef liver. They're essential for, and they process a lot of those genes that switch on and off. When we look at plant compounds, you got your blueberries, your green tea, you got your turmeric. They switch on your body's natural antioxidant defense system. Yeah. Remember, trust me when I tell you, food is so much more than just calories in, calories out. We look at omega-3 fats. They calm inflammation at the gene level, and they're critical for your brain, your heart, and your cells. I read a research paper earlier in the week. I think it was Monday. I shared it to a WhatsApp group that I'm a part of. And it was talking about the fact that your omega-3 index, which is the amount of omega-3 present in your body, is actually has a correlation between that and how long you're going to live for. Who here would know, who here would like to know that they have a better chance of living longer with a better quality of life? Raise of hands, show off. Yeah, cool. All you need to do is simply take a balance test from Zinzina that will tell you the amount of omega-3 in your system at that given point in time. And then if you're lower than you should be, start using the supplement. Very easy. Use a supplement, fix it. There's a direct correlation. Research has shown this between how low omega-3 is in your system and how early you are going to pass away versus how high it is and how much longer you're going to live. Research backed. If you need me to send it to you, I'll send it to you. I read it and I was shocked. I was a bit relieved because my omega-3 index has been a lot better over the last 12 to 18 months compared to what it was, right? But what I'm trying to get at is that nutrition plays such an important role, more than calories in, calories out. Okay, and the last one here is ultra-processed foods. And as we know, it triggers inflammation. It disrupts all the different genes that are supposed to be turned on in our body that are supposed to be healthy for us. It doesn't actually allow our body to do anything good. It just damages our body over time. Okay, now I know most of you in the room, if not all of you in the room, don't sit there and eat junk food every single day. But I want to make you a little bit more conscious about the processed food that might be in your house. Okay, and that it's okay, it's just a one-off. Let it be a one-off. Don't make it a constant. Because if you look at that bottom part here, the last part, the damage adds up over time. Yeah, there's a saying, the heart attack that happened at 50 started at 20. Yeah? There's a reason for that. It's because it happens over time. Next one, Jess. Now, one of the things that I always talk about is not just about what you take in, it's actually about what goes through. And when I'm talking about what goes through, I'm talking about absorption in the body. Now, that research paper that I mentioned about the omega-3 level and your likelihood of how long you're going to be alive for, that was done by this biochemist, Dr. William Wallace. And he makes a point that most nutrition talks skip, not mine though. A nutrient only helps you if your body actually absorbs it and actually uses it. This is why I'm such a big fan of gut health. And we'll talk a little bit about gut health as well. When we're talking about gut health, we're talking about the small intestine in particular and the ability for that small intestine to actually absorb those nutrients that you're consuming. Okay, if you're bloating after you eat, even if it's healthy, the absorption isn't there. Okay, it takes about 1,500 calories on average to produce adequate stomach acid so it can break down the food you're consuming and actually be able to absorb it. Who here lives off the 1,200 calorie diet because they saw it on some stupid Instagram or TikTok video? All right, you need to eat more food because you're going to negatively impact your digestion, which means you're not going to absorb the food you're consuming, which means you're leaving so many things on the table. Yeah, you're doing yourself a disservice. When we think about absorption, so we look at the dose, the form, how it's delivered. All those things can actually change our body in a positive way. And we actually want to make sure that we can change it in a way so our body can actually use it. When our body can actually use it, when you've got two products with the same label, they can actually work completely differently because somebody's body can absorb it and the other person's body can't absorb it. Yeah? Like Alex and I are brothers. We have a very much similar genetic makeup. But I'll eat something the same as him, he'll respond differently to me. Why? Because of the genes that are turning on and turning off, because of the way in which our body absorbs food. Make sense? You guys with me still? I feel like everyone's trying to digest a lot right there. Yeah? I know it kind of feels like it's a bit of a technical topic that I'm talking about tonight, but what I want you guys to understand, in particular when it comes to this section, is that you must look at how your body absorbs food and encourage your body to absorb food. Not just eat for the sake of eating. You actually want to make sure you absorb food. This is why pro-inflammatory foods should be eliminated because they slow down absorption. You know, gluten, is one in particular. Ultra-processed foods. Get rid of them as often as you can because they don't allow your body to absorb well because they cause inflammation. You have too much inflammation around your gut, you're going to bloat after you eat, you're not going to absorb food very well, okay? You won't have regular bowel movements, and the way the body likes to work, you're not supporting it enough. Okay, can I get everybody to stand up, please? Shake it out, shake your legs out, shake your arms out. Come on, I know it's cold, it's a Thursday night, everyone's starting to get a bit tired, I've had a big day, but let's wake up. I promise you, I'm going to keep this entertaining for you, okay? Let's have a seat, thank you. All right, now if you look at the second point, your body needs the right building blocks. Okay, your body must use the right building blocks. Carbs don't turn into unstable energy. Sorry, carbs don't turn into usable energy without enough vitamin B1. Who here knew that? All right, so when people say don't touch carbs, carbs are bad for you. They're not. Carbs are not bad. They're a macronutrient for a reason. We need that nutrient in big amounts. They play an important role in our body. Over 120 grams per day of carbohydrates is used to power our brain. We need it, okay? Now, when you miss that vitamin B1 that you can either supplement with or get from other forms of food, and a good example is things like red meat, the process stalls no matter how much of it you eat. So thinking that having more carbs is going to help you have better energy or more energy, not necessarily if the body can't actually be able to absorb it, yeah? So this is why that term have a balanced meal. Yeah, it actually plays a big role. It's actually very important. And it's not just to sound nice and simple so anybody can follow. There's a lot of understanding and in-depth knowledge about that and why that's important. Now, your gut passes the message on. Now, your gut bugs, your gut microbiome, they turn fiber and good food into compounds that carry signals all the way up to your brain. Anybody ever heard the term about the fact that your gut is your body's second brain and they communicate? It's not a thing to sound cool. It's true. They communicate to each other. So what we eat impacts how we feel. Yeah, what we eat impacts our energy levels, how clear we can think, our recovery. Yeah, has anybody ever eaten anything and they feel like really lethargic and sluggish? Yeah, that's your brain telling you whatever you just did, don't do it again. Yeah. Now, why this matters here? Why am I talking about all this stuff? Why is it so important? For two reasons. One, this is why the quality of a supplement, no matter what's on the label, decides whether it actually does anything. So you can supplement on B1. You can supplement. Who here has a whole cupboard full of supplements, by the way? Yeah? So many people I know do. I used to be like that as well, right? 9 times out of 10, you can have those supplements, but they do nothing because your body can't absorb them. Yeah? And most people won't tell you that certain supplements cancel each other out as well, right? So like a lot of the time when I have a laugh with some of my clients because they were spending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars every month thinking they were doing the right thing with this cupboard full of supplements. My mom thought I was a drug addict at one point. I had all these different supplements in the cupboard. And lo and behold, I do a couple of tests. My vitamin B levels are low. My magnesium is non-existent. My omega-3 is not there. My inflammation is through the roof. But I'm doing everything right on paper. Not really, because two things. One, the quality, but two, the absorption wasn't there. So you can't even supplement a poor diet if your body can't absorb it. So you need to be very, very understanding and respect the fact that you need to support your body to do the most simple job of just absorbing what you eat. Because that will cover, and it covers a lot. It'll cover a good 80% of what you need. It really will. You don't need 1,000 different supplements because you saw it on some TikTok video or you saw it on some ad on TV when you were sitting down on the couch late night, watching TV late at night. You don't need everything that you see in front of you. You just need to just keep it simple to support your body. I take 3 supplements, guys, 3. And I'm the healthiest I've been in a very long time. I used to take 10, right? And I was still at my unhealthiest at that point in time. Yeah? 2 things. Absorption is key, and making sure that what you're taking actually works is key as well. Next slide for me, Jess. Now, before I continue, is there any questions? Anybody got any questions? Everyone's looking at me like, what is he even talking about? Any questions at all? Are you sure? Don't be shy. Okay. Who here trains with weights? Quick show of hands. Good. This is why I love what training does. It's not just about the physical. For me, it's not just about the building of the muscle. There's so many more things that weights actually do. And the more research that is going into resistance training, and actually muscle in particular, they're starting to classify your muscle as an endocrine organ. Who knows what the endocrine system does? Anybody? Endocrine system, one of the roles here, it covers a lot of our hormones. It's part of the hormone signaling within our body. They're now putting muscle as a part of that system, which should tell you and tells me, but I'll explain to you why that's important. Muscle is so much more now than just what we see on our body and what we think it does in terms of just movement. It actually sends signals to the rest of our body to turn certain genes on around inflammation, around immune health, okay, around blood sugar management. This is why building muscle and keeping muscle as long as you can is so important. It's so much more important than just looking a certain way. If you want to look a certain way, by all means, go for it. But understand that what you're doing there's so many more great positive impacts you're having on top of looking a certain way. And this is why I love what lifting can do, because it actually changes your biology. Most people don't actually understand that. Most people don't even know that. But I spend a lot of time understanding this stuff because I want to make sure that what I'm teaching all my clients, everybody here tonight, is going to serve you well, not just in the gym and that's it. It's going to serve you well throughout your entire life for as long as possible, as long as you stay consistent with it all. So when we look at what it does for the brain, okay, it keeps your brain sharp. Who here wants to lose out on how good their brain is as they get older? Good, I'm glad nobody raised their hand. Ever heard of dementia? Have you guys ever heard or seen or read or maybe briefly heard about what lifting weights does for dementia? Complete reversal of dementia. Studies, research backed. It's amazing. You won't hear it though. Why? Because Australia's always last for everything. That's the problem with this country, unfortunately. But when you research and you look and you research and you look, which is what I love to do, you understand that the simple things of doing a bicep curl is so much more than training that bicep. It does so much more than that. Yeah, it does so much more than just making you look a certain way. It can actually impact how your brain signals. It actually has an anti-aging impact on your brain. Yeah, I've got a grandmother who's in her 80s. I can't wait to get her into the gym, and I'm slowly getting there. She's not losing it, but I'm slowly getting there, right? And I'm telling you right now, my whole family will be shocked at the difference in her after 4 to 8 weeks of just doing a couple of days a week with me. I'm telling you. And I'm not doing this because I think it's cool for me. I'm doing this because I want her to be alive for as long as possible. Yeah? She's got one great-grandchild. I wanted to have a second great-grandchild. Very soon, her second one's going to be on the way. And I want her to be able to do what she does with my son, get on the floor with him at 85 years old and play with him. And she does that, right? But you can't do that unless you have your what? Starts with a H, your health. You can't do that unless you have your health. You can't do the things that you love. You can't do the things that give you fulfillment. You can't do the things that give you happiness if you don't have your health. And I get like this because too many of us just wish our health away because we can't be bothered. It's too much. I can't. I'm time poor. But you'll doom scroll on Instagram for 3 hours before you go to bed. I can't do this. I'm time poor. But you'll Netflix. So each and every one of you tonight are making this smarter by being here, and you otherwise would be at home Netflixing. Yes or no? Yeah? Most of you would be. I know I would be. Right? But you know what a lot of people that I know and that I study from call Netflix? They call it dumbflix. Because you get dumber as you watch the stuff. You do. You get dumber as you watch the stuff. And look, we have our thing that we like to do. But for me, when I can have an opportunity to make my brain sharper, I take it really seriously. Because I don't know how long I got. I don't know how long I have. Yeah? The rate of disease in this country and in the world is getting higher and higher and higher. And the scary part about it is the age that people are getting diagnosed with these diseases is getting lower and lower and lower and lower. And you know what disease I'm referring to? And it absolutely breaks my heart because I've got a cousin who's got a 4-year-old son who's got leukemia, right? It kills me. It absolutely kills me, right? And I look at my cousin and I said to him, brother, like, can you start doing something for yourself? Because you want to have more kids, don't you? He said, yeah. I said, without trying to kick you when you're down, your genetic makeup, your lifestyle decisions impact your children. Yeah? This is why I get so fired up, because we have more control over our body, but the scary part is we have control over our kids and even our grandkids' bodies by what we do today. Yeah? Don't you want to make sure you at least, if not for you, have a good impact on them? Yeah? This is why this stuff is so important. This is why I get passionate about this stuff, because it's not just about me. It's not just about you. It's about the impact that we can have by simply choosing the right things to do. Yeah? This is why I love what I do. This is why I love what I teach. This is why I love the impact I can have on people's lives. And again, why I'm so grateful for all of you being here tonight. When we look at slower aging, people who live consistently, okay, they're able to have what we term as protective caps over at their chromosomes. Those chromosomes, as we get older, they shorten. If you have that protective cap over it, you delay that shortening, which means what? As we get older, we don't get so frail. Our bodies don't break down as quickly. We all are going to get older. We are always going to get a little bit slower. But if we can slow this down, I know that was really poorly explained, but if we can slow it down, right, and have that anti-aging impact by simply doing something 2, 3, 4 times a week, once a week, if that's all we can do, it's better than nothing. When we look at better blood sugar control, blood sugar will give you a heart attack way faster than your cholesterol will. I'll say it slower for people that think that their GPs know everything about health. Blood sugar will give you a heart attack faster than your cholesterol levels will. And if you don't believe me, go do the research. And if you find something that is different to what I'm saying, I'll show it to me because I'd like to read it. When you actually do what we term as resistance training, you're actually younger on the inside. Okay, the last point. Studies show that resistance training can shift your biological age markers. Your cells can behave younger than your birth certificate. We have a chronological age, then we have what we term as our biological age. Did anybody ever used to watch The Biggest Loser? Yeah, remember that at the start of the show, they used to get everybody up on that thing, this is how old you are on your birth certificate, this is what your body is at right now. That's not a thing to make them scared. That's actually true. There's biological age and there's chronological age, right? If you neglect your body, you're going to age your body faster. Yeah? Now, cardio has its place in the gym. A lot of people think cardio is the answer to their goals. It is, but it has its place. But weights training is the most powerful tool available to actually change you physically. But imagine having a good impact on your biology through just doing some weights. How cool is that? Am I the only one that thinks that's cool? Yeah, I think I'm the only one. Okay, cool. All right, I'll take it, whatever. My clients, now you're going to appreciate your weight training a little bit more now. Now, when we look at sleep, who here gets 5 hours of sleep? Who here gets 6 hours? 7 hours? 7 hours plus. I'll call it 7 hours plus. Good, good. Because sleep is not just rest. It's not just rest, team. It's the repair time for your body. Every single aspect of repair that you need in your body comes when you sleep. 711 genes change how active they are just after 1 week of short sleep. So from a genetic standpoint, from that epigenetic standpoint, which is how we change stuff with our genes, if we get poor sleep, certain genes that we don't want turned on decide to get turned on. The genes that we want turned off, they get turned on. So the things that we don't want to happen, happen. The things that we want to happen don't really happen just from getting poor sleep because, I don't know, we don't prioritize it. Whatever the reason is, I'm not attacking anybody here, but whatever the reason is, we all have a priority list, yeah? Just take sleep from the bottom, put it a little bit higher on the priority list. That's all. Yeah, that's all you need to do. I know it sounds very simple and it's not that simple for some of us, but the more you try, the more consistently you try, the better you're going to be. Not just because of the energy you're going to have the next day, but from how your genes are going to be expressed the next day, and then the day after, and the day after, and the day after, and the next 20, 30 years of your life. When we look at 50% of our growth hormone gets released when we consistently sleep. Sorry, 50% less growth hormone gets released when we sleep under 6 hours. Why is growth hormone important? We need that to repair. We need that to recover. Men and women use growth hormone. We need that to recover. That's part of the recovery process.
Is it 6 consistent hours, or can you do 2 and then you've woken up for a bit and then just asking for a friend?
That's a great question. Firstly, what was your name?
Tina.
Can you give Tina a clap, please? Because she's the only one that had the courage to actually ask the question, so thank you, Tina. I want questions flying at me. I don't mind questions, I love questions. Because what you ask, somebody else might be thinking and might want to know. But the broken sleep is not ideal, to answer your question, because we have stages of sleep. So we go from being awake to light to REM to deep sleep. We want to be in the REM and deep sleep. It takes about 45 minutes to get there every time. So if we wake up, 45 minutes. We wake up, 45 minutes. So if you can get consistent sleep, that's ideal, because there's a cycle that we go through when we sleep. Okay, so if you want help with understanding how to sleep better, you can hang back after and we can have a chat. I can give you some easy tips. Okay. The last one here, we're 3 times higher to have inflammation from poor sleep. Okay, does anybody know about how damaging inflammation can be on the body? Does anybody know? Yeah? Anybody kind of heard of it but doesn't really pay much attention? Okay. chronic inflammation is linked to every single heart attack that's ever happened from the start of whenever we were tracking heart attacks. Chronic inflammation is linked to every single lifestyle disease that we know. It's not the main causer, but it's definitely linked. Yeah? What drives inflammation up? One of the things that drives inflammation up, poor sleep. Yeah? Poor sleep. Okay? Now I'm going to get some people up. It's all well and good to hear it from me and how smart I sound, but I actually do help people, I promise you. And I'm going to get my favorite person in the entire world up, my mum, to speak a little bit about her health and about the amazing change that my mum's had over the last 4 to 5 years.
What are you apologising for?
Introduce yourself.
I'm Anthony's mum.
Her name's Jackie, but her name's Jackie. So mum, just tell me a little bit about, in particular, your arthritis and your cholesterol.
Okay. I got diagnosed with...
Hold that to your face. Just hold where your mouth is.
I got diagnosed with... it's not carpal tunnel, but it's a problem with my hand, with my thumb. And the specialist told me that I have to have an operation, get cartilage from my backside and put it here, and it'll take 6 to 3 months before I can use my hand again. I told Anthony, I said, I can't do this operation. I was working at the time. I need my hand. I can't do it. So he said to me, Mum, Zeno, this thing, we're using it at the moment now. Please try it and see how you go. I swear to God, on my 2 sons, within a month, I stopped feeling pain. Honestly, I stopped feeling pain. And I'm working in the kitchen and I'm chopping away all day. And I don't feel pain anymore. I'm still using it and I'm still fine, and there's no operation and no nothing. My cholesterol level has gone down slightly. This is hereditary, Anthony. My cholesterol...
This is the genetic side, but
now
she's going to tell you about the epigenetic side.
My father was diagnosed with high cholesterol, and he had a bypass for arteries. He had to have an operation. My older brother as well, same thing. I've got high cholesterol. But since using Zeno, I honestly can say my cholesterol level's gone down slightly. So, all praise to Zeno. Yes. Thank you.
Thanks, Mum. Just while I have my mum, yes, Zeno played a big role, but a lot of her lifestyle habits changed. Yes. She forgot to mention that she finally, after 61 years of being alive, started in the gym. And now she trains with us twice a week, 3 times a week, her and my dad. And the reason for that is because we saw a lot of death from illness that could otherwise be avoided. And I said to my mum, listen, your mum died at 69, you're 61, I'm not losing you in 8 years' time. No. If I can control anything, you're not going nowhere. So for me, it was very simple. Get her in the gym, get her walking, get her drinking more water, get her eating more better food. And yes, she takes her supplement, but you can't out-supplement a poor lifestyle. Yeah? So everything worked together really, really well. It was targeted, it was tested. Yes, it was. That's why I love what they do, because they test and don't guess. But everything else around what my mum's done, she's made huge changes over the last 12 months. And I'm proud of you, and you should be proud of yourself, Mum.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have one more person before we continue on. Her name is Julie. So, I prepped her for this, but she's still going to act like I'm putting her on the spot. Come on, Julie, get up. It's okay, 3/4 of the room. Just hold it. Just talk about your osteopenia.
This is the lights in my face.
Hold this for me. Just talk about your osteopenia.
My osteopenia. Do I go that far?
Just talk about talk about your arm.
Okay. And I'm going to take your tip. Imagine a surgeon telling you that you will never be able to extend your arm after shattering it. And I did smash my elbow. 11 years ago, 2015. It did require 2 titanium screws. Yep. 1 here, 1 there. So I was meant to be permanently like this. Anyway, so I thought, as stubborn as I am... Oh, can you not hear me? I don't like holding this. Oh.
It's all right. Keep going.
I was on a roll.
I know, yeah. Go. As you were.
Where was I?
Titanium screws, yeah.
Permanently like this. if I was to remove the titanium screws, what would happen is that you'd have no strength left in your arm. So I thought, I'm stubborn, I'm just going to take them out. I can't do this. So I called Anthony, and I called my physio, and I said, I need your help. If I was to take them out, would you be able to help me rebuild my strength? And he said, I will do all my best. So anyway, he thought I was stupid. The surgeon said, if you do this, you will not be able to hold a piece of paper, and I wasn't. I cried. I did strength training with Anthony. It took many months with my physio. It got to the point where I cried so much I thought this is not going to happen, but with his expertise and his encouragement, he said, you're going to believe in this, you're going to do this. I ended up competing 3 novice comps years later, actually, it was 5 years later. Not by choice, because he believed in me. He believed in me. I did 3, and I can't say that you take all credit, because your brother was part of my training journey as well. So thank you, Alex. And look, these guys are amazing. I haven't been paid to say all this. Anyway, moving along, with the bone scans that I had to do with my arm, they discovered I was diagnosed with osteopenia. So hence I had to continue my weight-bearing exercise, which I was determined to do, and I haven't given up. It has stabilised at the moment, and they said you should be taking medication, you should be on calcium tablets, so and so. I did none of that. All I did was weight-bearing exercise with these guys, and now Anthony, with the nutrition plan that is implemented, with the Zinzino that I've been taking for the last 18 months, I feel healthier, stronger, and more confident, and I'm 60.
Thanks, Jules. Thank you.
Really appreciate this guy. He's taught me a lot, so thank you to you. Thank you, Alex.
You're welcome. Thanks, Julie. Thanks, Jules. And just so you guys know, a powerlifting comp is not like okay, cool. She squatted over 100 kilos, she bench pressed over 60 kilos, she deadlifted 140 kilos, like pretty strong, right? For somebody that had an arm like this, couldn't do anything, and was diagnosed with osteopenia, I told her I could never do anything ever again. You can get told one thing, but you can actually try and see what your body can do in another way. Genetics, epigenetics. Yeah, you're starting to get it now, aren't you? See, I told you guys would be all right. All right, next one. Okay, ongoing stress is poison to your genes. And I mean that when I say it's poison, okay? A short burst of stress can be good. So we have what we term as acute inflammation. Okay, acute inflammation is really important because what it can do is heal us from a cut or a wound, help our body fight infection or disease, like if we've got the flu. It's very, very important to have that acute hit of inflammation. What isn't good is the long-term stress or the long-term inflammation, chronic inflammation, chronic stress. Yeah, think of the word chronic as long-term, okay? Now, ongoing stress is different. It wears down your body's natural defenses over time. Your stress hormone shuts things down. So when our body's in a stressed out state, it is not prioritizing healing, growth, anything. It's prioritizing survival and only survival, okay? When we have high cortisol for too long, it weakens our immune system, it disrupts our sleep, and it keeps inflammation switched on. So that individual, Tina, you told me you wake up, that's why. That stress is high, adrenaline's high. Who here wakes up throughout the night to go to the toilet thinking that's normal? It's not normal. It isn't normal, all right? Even if you had some water before you went to bed, it's not normal, okay? Ideally, in the ideal world, no. You're not supposed to. Irrespective of your age, irrespective of how much water you've had before going to sleep, it doesn't matter. What gets you up at night, yep.
Sorry, my doctor told me that the reason why I get up in the middle of the night to go to the toilet is because of my PCOS.
I would go a layer deeper. It's because of the chronic stress on your body. Okay. Yeah. We'll talk later about your PCOS. It's actually not PCOS anymore. You do know that, right? It's PMOS. Take the C out, put the M in, metabolic, right? So the reason why they've done that is because they've understood the nature of this autoimmune disease and the fact that it's not just one thing that's causing it. When you have a metabolic disorder, it's a whole systematic thing within the body. So now think about how good the approach is going to be to fix it at the deeper root cause level, now that we've understood that it's a whole systematic thing that's causing these things. Genetics, epigenetics. Make sense? You with me now? Even to the point of an autoimmune disease. Okay? You have your genetic makeup, and what you do turns things on or turns things off. What you do can cause autoimmune diseases to spike and can cause them to be resolved. Okay? Your genetic makeup will determine what type of autoimmune disease you get, though. Yeah? I have one. My brother's got one, totally different. My sister-in-law's got one, totally different. My wife's got one, totally different. Have we resolved it, though? Yeah. Okay? Now, when we look at the second point, faster aging, ongoing stress speeds up the wear and tear of our cells. And again, it's a marker for aging. When we look at childhood, stress leaves a mark. Research shows that a tough childhood, or any tough childhood experiences, leave lasting effects on health decades later. Decades later. I'm smiling because I'm thinking about some of the things that I went through as a child, not from my parents, but from my own wrongdoings, that still haunt me in the back of my mind to this day. Now, some of you could probably think about some of the things that you've gone through. Those parents in the room, I want you to think about the way in which you are with your child first thing in the morning. Just think for a second. Because that impacts the rest of their day and will impact the rest of their life. Yeah? Think about that for 1 second. Now think about the shit sleep you have. Think about the smoking you like to do, the alcohol you like to drink, the Netflix you like to watch, the doom scrolling on Instagram you like to do. Then you wake up feeling like crap. And then who's the first person to get it? Mom, Dad! And you're like, what do you want? Get ready for school! And you blast them from the whole time they wake up to the whole time they get in the car to the whole time you drop them at school. Or your significant other cops it because you're just in a bad mood because you had a poor sleep. Right? Understand that this stuff is so much bigger than we actually make it out to be. It's not just, they'll get over it. They may seem like they can get over it, but it impacts us deeply. Now, those individuals that have a lot of weight on their body, that have struggled with weight their whole life, do not tell me that there has not been instances in your life that have scarred you and made it hard for you to do so. I know 5 people off the top of my head who are my family that were 200 kilos and now we're in year 12. Emotional eaters, had a hard life, tough childhood. And I'm not talking about tough childhood like their parents made them do the chores at night. Okay, I'm talking about tough childhood like they got bullied or they came up from a very hard upbringing. Yeah, that impacts you. And then you want to tell me that calories in, calories out is the only way to lose weight? See how deep this goes? See why I get passionate? See why I love my job, firstly? Because I can have big impact on people's life for what I love.
Are we just talking about emotional stress?
That's one of the many things. Yeah.
So what are other examples of stress?
Oh, there's heaps. There's physiological. So anything physical, there's the emotional, there's the mental, there's immune stress, there's nutritional stress. It can all come from different things, but it all presents on the body very much the same way.
Just emotional and psychological, it's physiological too.
Yeah, everything. So stress from different ways. The list goes on for what can stress somebody out, right? But it impacts the body the same way physiologically, the same way mentally, the same way emotionally, right? Where it comes from, though, can be different. Does that make sense? Yeah, thank you, Joe. That's a good question. Now, if you look at the last point, it can actually go both ways, though. You can do mindfulness. You can do some breath work. You can be a part of a good community who cares about you, like Platinum Training Academy. Okay? Don't laugh, it's true, right? You can do some structured training. They've all been shown to help reverse the damage. How cool is that? Yeah? You may have a shit upbringing. You may have a tough childhood. You may have struggle with whatever you're struggling with. But start doing the right things, put yourself around the right people, and start to reverse this damage. Yeah? This is why community is such an important thing to me. Yes?
I just want to say, when someone else says, oh, don't worry about it, you'll be okay. That's a stress.
Yeah, it's true.
Because it's causing, making you more, you're suppressing it.
Mm-hmm.
And having other, it's like it's hidden somewhere else.
Exactly right.
It's hiding somewhere, it's like a child.
I love that you said that. Give a big round of applause, guys. Thank you. Next one, Jess. Alrighty. Now we got my favorite, the little troublemaker. So out of my brother and I in our house, I was the troublemaker. Right? I know it's hard to believe, right? I was the troublemaker, but unlike what it says on the slide, I wasn't quiet about it. I was definitely the troublemaker and I was loud. But in this context here, the quiet troublemaker is my favorite friend, inflammation. Now, inflammation isn't always bad, like I said before, similar to what I was saying about stress. Okay, we do need short bursts of it, to heal. The problem though is that low-grade inflammation that never switches off. You know when you wake up feeling like crap? I know I'm gonna, like the language I'm using is a little bit colloquial, so I do apologize. But I just want you guys to be able to relate to me with what I'm saying. I don't want to get too technical and then lose you guys. Your body's inflammation switch, okay, so chronic inflammation gets stuck on. Do you know what turns inflammation off? You know what turns it off? Anybody know? Anybody want to have a guess? Don't say it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but there's a certain nutrient that we can consume that turns inflammation off. Thank you, Mum. Omega-3. There's a term, essential nutrient. It means two things. One, we need it. Two, we don't make it. There are 4 essential nutrients that every single person on this planet should be getting. Omega-3 is one, protein is the other one, creatine is the other one, and magnesium is the other one. Okay? Magnesium is in our soil, or should be in our soil, and because of agriculture and farming, it turns the same soil over all the time. We don't get those essential nutrients in the soil anymore. This is why supplementation of magnesium is a really important thing. But fun fact about magnesium supplements, look at the ingredients on all your magnesium when you go home. If you say magnesium oxide, throw it out. And never go back to Chemist Warehouse and buy it again. Okay? Throw it out, because it actually does nothing for your system. We have a term called bioavailable, or bioavailability, which means how easily your body can absorb the nutrient. Magnesium oxide has the lowest bioavailability. It's like an empty capsule pretty much. So, I've told you what the worst case is, let me tell you what the best case is. Magnesium glycinate. Yeah? All my clients nodding, oh, that's why. Yes, guys, that's why. That's why I tell you. Magnesium glycinate is the best magnesium supplement you can have because it is the highest in bioavailability, which means the absorption of that is very easy. Very easy. And if you need somewhere to get it from, another good pharmacist in Elwood that will get it for you. And if you say my name, he'll give you a discount. Now, when we look at the omega balance, so modern diets sit way too high in one type of fat and unfortunately way too low in the other type. We have omega-6 and we have omega-3. So if omega-3 is the off switch to inflammation, what do you think omega-6 is? It's the what? It's the on switch. And our diets are heavy, very heavy in omega-6. Processed foods. Okay, nobody in this room, I'm 99% sure, consumes wild caught fish 3 to 4 times a week. So therefore you're getting 0 omega-3. Unless you're on Zinzino, you're getting 0 omega-3 in your day or in your week. And the reason why I say that so confidently is because of the data and the research behind what farmed fish actually has. And that is 0 omega-3.
Sardines are not in that.
They have some, but it also depends on where you're getting them from. Yeah, so like the source is very important as well, yeah. Yeah, unless you get the really expensive ones, then you'll be okay. Sardines are a fantastic source. Even like grass-fed meat has some omega-3s in it. Okay, but when you want to have 2 to 3 grams of omega-3 per day, right? That's a lot of grass-fed red meat to eat to get 2 to 3 grams of omega-3. So that's why the balanced oil just kicks it in the butt for you. It's so easy for you to have every single day. If you can get your hands on wild caught fish multiple times a week, by all means go for it. And go for it, because nothing is better than a natural source. But in this day and age, it's quite difficult. Yeah, so the balanced oil is probably your best bet to having an essential nutrient. Remember, it's 2 parts. We need it and we don't make it. That's why it's so important. And it's that off switch to that chronic inflammation that is always on. Now, when we look at, I'm just going to keep going with the too high in one type of fat and too low in the other. This exact balance is what a balance test will measure. So the beautiful thing about, again, Zinzino is the fact that they have this test and don't guess method. And the test and don't guess method is test you for your omega-6 to 3 balance, tell you what you're at, take the supplement, retest in 120 days, tell you how much you've improved. And then it's up to you whether you want to continue taking the supplement or not. That's it. That simple. No scam, I promise. Okay? All right, and now when we look at your gut, okay, the gut bacteria, so your gut bacteria produces compounds that directly affect how your body behaves all the way through to your brain, okay? And a disrupted gut means more inflammation. So gut health is really, really important. Okay, inflammation is a culprit for a lot of different things in our bodies that we can otherwise avoid. Okay, and inflammation comes from a lot of different things. Mainly from a nutritional perspective, too many omega-6s, not enough omega-3s, inflammation just stays switched on the whole time, even if you feel okay. I've heard that many times in my career, but I feel fine. Just do a test. Let's see. Right? People do their normal blood test with their GP, they bring it to me, and I say, so how are you feeling? I feel okay. Okay, and then we go a little bit deeper, and I look at the blood test results, you're low in this, you're low in that, you're low in this, you're low in that. This is why you're feeling this way. That make sense? You don't just go off, I think I feel okay, I got through the day, so I'm good. Let's kind of be a little bit smarter than that with how we treat our bodies. Yeah, we need to understand that going a little bit deeper, looking at your bloods, really understanding your biology and what's going on is going to give you the answers to whatever you're worried about potentially, but you're proactive with your health, not reactive. Because when you're reactive, sometimes it's too late. I don't know why people are okay with getting sick before they do something. It doesn't click with my head. It doesn't make sense to me. Why do you have to wait to get sick to go, oh, maybe I should change something? Like, I want to shake you. Don't do that to yourself. And like I was saying before, it doesn't just impact you. Yeah? Now, when we look at blood testing, I'm a big fan of blood testing. I'm a big fan of just give me the data. Let me explain to you what's going on, and then we can go from there. Right? Because that takes the emotion out. There's no point acting, like doing things for your health based on how you, like on your emotional state, because sometimes we just go, it's too much. I've got too many things going on in my life. I don't care. And then 6 months passes and you're worse, and you're like, I should have done something 6 months ago. So take the emotion out, look at the data, and just have a simple, easy approach that you can sustain over time that will give you the results that you want with simply improving your health. Does that sound fair? Yeah? Pretty simple, eh? Why aren't we doing it then? Tell me. I want to know why people, the majority of people, you guys are the exception because you're not watching dumb flicks, you're here, okay? Why aren't more people wanting to be proactive with their health? Does anybody want to just throw it out there? Why they think?
Fear of finding out.
Fear of finding out how unhealthy you are? Could be one. That was me. Too busy, yeah? Lazy. And anybody else? They don't think it's important, yeah? You know who thought it was important? Yeah? Misleading information, so like conflicting stuff, confusing. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Not making effort, wrong information, stuff that might not be applicable or correct or even up to date.
Sometimes you just don't have access to the information you need.
Each and every one of you do though, because you know me. So you got my, like, I've got your numbers, I've got your emails, you get information from me, don't worry. And there's a free downloadable book that I've written myself at the end of this presentation. So you got to do is scan your QR code and you have all this information at your fingertips. Next one, Jess, for me. All right, like I was saying before, I've kind of gone over this in what I've been saying throughout the night, but we have targeted support and we don't have guesswork. Okay, everybody's come tonight to get an answer, right? I want to give you a little bit more than just an answer. I don't want you guys to walk out going, he's smart. And that's it. And then you go back to what you're doing tomorrow. I want you guys to understand that there's a clear path you can actually go on for a better version of you. I would be doing you all a disservice by giving up your time for me tonight if I didn't give you clarity on what you can do today. And the simple thing you can do today is be open to getting a test and seeing where you're at. And then let the conversation go with me after that. That's as simple as it needs to be. Now, when we look at the balance oil is the premier thing that Zinzino has done. Okay? What makes them so different to every other omega-3 that Chemist Warehouse sells you? My favorite part of the Chemist Warehouse omega, like fish oils, is the extra 25% for free you can get. You think you're getting a good deal, eh? You're literally having an empty capsule. And I'll explain why. Okay, there's a thing called polyphenol. Does anybody know what a polyphenol is? Okay, so a polyphenol is found in things like olives, in olive oil in particular. Polyphenols let me rephrase this. A polyphenol is found naturally in wild-caught fish. And the role of that polyphenol is to protect omega-3. Because omega-3, by nature, is very sensitive to three things: to light, to heat, and to oxygen. Now let's go to the manufacturers that make omega-3, your fish oil tablets. 9 out of 10 of them don't put that polyphenol into your capsule. So your oil is subjected to heat, to light, to oxygen as it's being put into a capsule. It's no longer anti-inflammatory for you. Okay, it does what we term as run rancid in your body, cause more problems, cause more inflammation. Yeah? You're all nodding, going, far out with this. I was the same. I used to take them for years on end, years and years and years and years. And they're not small either, so they were very annoying to swallow. They're like this big each, right? So they were, and I'd take 3 at a time, thinking I was having the right amount. And that's like 10 years of it, plus. Only to get a balance test to show me I got no omega-3 in my system. And to be very honest, I was skeptical at first because I didn't know whether this balance test was going to be accurate. So what did I do? I'll do what Anthony does. I go to the next level. I went to my GP. I paid extra to get the omega-3 to 6 balance test done on a GP's blood report, and I compared the two. And guess what? On my son's life, they were exactly the same. Exactly the same. So now I knew, okay, these guys are legit. So what did I start doing? I started taking the balance oil. Took the balance oil, felt better. I thought, this is weird. I'm feeling really good. I'm not craving coffee like I used to. I'm a bit more focused now. Got better energy. Okay. My skin's calmed down. My bloating's gone. My knees don't hurt anymore when I squat. Okay, maybe it's placebo, maybe. Then I get the second test done. So my first test came back at 19-1, and I'll talk to you about that a little bit more, about why that's so bad. And you'll find out in a second. My second test came back after 120 days. I was 2.3-1. Those of you that are taking Zinzino, you know why that's such a big deal. Everybody else will find out in a couple of slides. But I went from 19-1 to 2.3-1 in 120 days. I'm a healthy dude. I don't do anything unhealthy per se. I live a very healthy life. The only thing I changed was the balance oil. Then I added on the Xenobiotic, which is their probiotic. Because I have an autoimmune disease, the nature of every single autoimmune disease in the world starts from your gut. It starts from a thing called leaky gut syndrome. Okay, anybody ever heard of leaky gut syndrome before? Yeah? Anybody not? Raise your hands. If you don't, it's okay, because I'm going to explain it anyway. Now, when we have leaky gut, when we have a small intestine. In that small intestine, we have little finger-looking things like this. They're called microvilli. And they're supposed to be very tight. They're supposed to have what we term as tight junctions. Okay, they're one layer of cell thick, so very, very, very thin. But they're supposed to be very tight like this. And when they're tight like this, everything, picture inside of me, like from my hand to me, is inside just one intestine. Picture everything outside the rest of the body. They're designed to keep all the good stuff in and all the bad stuff out. You know what chronic inflammation does? It separates them. So now, anything bad can come in, everything good can come out. Going all the way back to what I was saying about absorption, this is why this is so important. This is why absorption is so important, because this is what happens when we don't have good absorption of nutrients. We've got a deeper problem that we need to fix so we can absorb nutrients better. It's not just a matter of you'll be okay. It's not just a matter of that. It's not just a matter of take this digestive enzyme. It's a bit more than that. Okay? Now when you combine those two things, what I found, and a lot of my clients who have skin conditions in particular, significantly improved. Psoriasis, eczema, almost gone. My eczema on my neck completely disappeared. My bloating, gone. My aches and pains, gone. I thought, this is too good to be true. Like, come on, man. It can't be this magical. So I did another test. Still around the same. Nothing's changed, which is good, 2.3-1. Right, that's 3 tests now. Consistent improvement. A lot of my clients have consistent improvement. You heard Julie, you heard my mum. They're both Zinzino. They both train with weights. They both eat well. They both do everything really well. Okay, and I understand that essential nutrients are very hard to come by. So when you can find a company that is ethical in what they do, the smarter option for you, because you need these nutrients, is to think about using it. Alrighty, so like I was saying before, I was at 19-1. Yeah, look at the red. Okay, we need to know our numbers. The balance test is a simple finger prick blood test that shows your omega balance, and it's the same marker that drives inflammation that you just learnt about. In the red, the average person, not just in this country, around the world, okay, Zinzino have gone up to I think 1.7 million tests worldwide, or 1.8 million tests worldwide. And they're doing more and more and more as every year goes on, because they want to get data. They want to understand what's going on. They want people to know where they're at. And they did this, and the average is most people sit between 15-20-1. which means, and that's omega-6 to omega-3, the ratio. Significantly inflamed. The ideal healthy target is always at 3:1. Science says we can get away with 3:1. We're born with a 1:1 ratio from a DNA perspective. Science says we can get away with 3:1 because don't forget we need some inflammation. We need a bit of that acute inflammation, yeah? I was here. Every single client I've ever tested was here. And I've tested like 70, 80 clients. Yeah? But 80% of them are here on 120 days. If not, they're very close. And I've got testimonials on testimonials I can show you on my phone. Next slide, Jess. Now, one of the biggest things that I learned as I delve deeper into nutrition and genetics and epigenetics and all this kind of stuff, biology, is this point here. Raise your hand if you're a parent. Raise your hand if you're a grandparent. Raise your hand if you're pregnant. Yeah. Oh no, that's not Macca's. So one of the most amazing discoveries in modern science is the fact that what you do today affects who comes after you. Okay? So legacy to me is really important. Not from an egotistical point of view though. From that point of view. Okay? Research shows that a grandfather's diet and a grandfather's stress levels can affect his grandchildren's health without even changing the DNA itself. Yeah?
This is before the children or once the horse is bolted?
Before. I like that. I like that. Once the horse is bolted, I like that. So a famous World War II famine study showed that children born to mothers who starved carried genetic changes decades later, and so did their children. This shows that what the mother does affects the children, then it can affect the grandchildren. Yeah? I want to be that grandfather that's 80 years old, like still jacked and lean and just living a healthy life. Not because of how it looks, but that's one reason, but because I know that my kid, and well, my children and my grandchildren are going to just have, from a genetic standpoint, a better chance. It's a nice feeling knowing that you can look after your family. Yeah? Not just from a monetary perspective, like we need to let go of the fact that we can buy things for people. We need to really let go of that. Buying things for people means nothing, right, when death comes knocking. It means nothing. Yeah? Legacy to me is so important because it's the everyday things that we do. If we just remove ourselves from it, has a big impact. Right? This is why I love what training does. Somebody goes to me, Anthony, I'm not motivated. Tell me you're not motivated after hearing that now. Tell me you're not motivated after knowing that what you do every single day affects the people that are going to come after you. Yeah? Don't talk to me about motivation. Don't. Because motivation to me is like our emotions. It comes and it goes. Comes and it goes. I'm motivated when everything's going great in my life. Yeah? Most of us can relate. How motivated are we though when things aren't going good? But my clients in particular, how consistent you guys are is one of the many reasons why you should be proud of yourself, because no matter what happens, you still turn up. Not just for you, but for your families, your children, your grandchildren, your significant other, whatever it might be. That's the thing that you should pat yourself on the shoulder for. Okay? Now the good news for each and every one of you today, it's not all doom and gloom. The good news is that the choices you make today have a ripple effect onto that next generation. Just be more conscious now of your choices. Yeah, when you're looking at that Scotch glass, or you're looking at that beer, or you're looking at that, or you're looking at driving past Macca's, right? Or you're looking at the cigarette, or you're looking at the argile, or you're looking at whatever might be your vape. Like, have a think now about how it impacts not just you, but the future. Yeah?
My earlier times, they used to say, what you eat today walks and talks tomorrow.
I love that. What you eat today walks and talks tomorrow. I like that.
It's very personal at least.
Yeah, it's very true as well. I like that. Thank you for sharing that. I like that. Alrighty, so now, I want you guys, like I said today, like I said before, to walk away with some actionable things. I want you guys to have a quick read as I'm talking and see what things in that list you can maybe start doing as early as tomorrow or maybe from tonight. Right, each of you should aim for this. Can't blame me for your poor sleep. I don't want everyone saying, I'm going to have to Anthony's thing tonight, so I've got less sleep. But try your hardest to kind of look at these things and think about how simple it can be. Imagine if you just implemented one thing from every list, part of the list, just one thing. How much different would you feel? Yeah? If you're doing the majority of it, good job. Try to get a little bit tighter, a little bit better in areas that you want to improve in. If you're not doing any of it, then there's a whole room of improvement for you, which is great because the simple things you do can have a huge impact on how you feel and a huge impact on what's to come tomorrow. And these are so easy. This is what we teach at my gym. Deb's been a part of the community for years. Nick, Julie, Nikki, they've been a part of the community for such a long time. I haven't changed in what I've taught since I started 16 years ago. I haven't changed. I was talking about this stuff and people were laughing at me. They were laughing at me like, bro, who are you? Now it's all over TikTok, all over Instagram. It's a trend now. These are the things that you need to be doing all the time because they have the best bang for your buck. Does anything here cost anything? Not really. Have a bit of extra effort. But the return on investment is huge. Alrighty. We've got 2 more people I'd like to get up. Okay, these 2 are very special to me. One is my wife. So I'd like to get my wife up. Jessica? Sorry. Just talk about your Hashimoto's.
There we go. I don't even know how long ago it was now.
So Jess and I have been married since 2020, so 6 years.
No, it was about 6
And
years.
about 4 years ago.
No, it was about 6. It was then.
Going around then?
Yeah. About 6 years ago, I got, I was feeling like quite unwell, very tired all the time, a lot of brain fog, really just running on adrenaline, I think, at that point. Ran some bloods. Turned out that I had Hashimoto's disease, like a thyroid condition. I started to work with a functional nutritionist, also with Anth. Obviously, it changed a lot about what I eat, my lifestyle, stress management, which was quite huge. So I lost my train of thought. My supplements, yeah, that was a big deal. I really went quite full on initially with my diet change. Reduced all my gluten, my dairy, just a lot. Almost went anti-inflammatory. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of the protocol. So I pretty much went on that for a few months. And I don't know, how long ago now? Probably took about 2-3 years.
Stable?
Yeah, so stable. So I'd get my bloods checked every few months just because you need to sort of monitor it. And then I've also got a nodule on my thyroid, so I have to monitor that. And it's been quite stable for about 2 years, 3 years. Yeah, quite good. My recent bloods, the doctor that I had initially asked to get my bloods checked, he had checked it, and it was really late at night. And he knew that Anth and I were trying for a baby, and he calls and he's like, "You're not pregnant now because you can miscarriage." And it was quite, intense. And he looked at my results probably 2 months ago, and he's like, "What have you done?" Because where it was to where it is now, it's quite significant. So, yeah, that's me.
Good job. And at the time when she got diagnosed with what she had, I should say. So this makes me feel really important, so I'm just going to put it back on. So the reason why Jessica did her bloods, we were married, we were trying for a baby, and because of I wouldn't say, it was hard to conceive. For me, because of my health condition, but also with Jess, the phone call that we got, it was during lockdown, and the GP was working overtime. Got her bloods, and he woke her up with a phone call saying, "Your thyroid's out of control, your bloods are really bad. If you're trying to conceive, you're going to have a miscarriage." He goes, "Okay, so I'll talk to you tomorrow." And hangs up. Yeah, I know, right? So now try console her. Right? You can't. You just got told your hopes and dreams are shattered, and what do? So me being me, when you mess with my family, you mess with me, and I just delve deep into everything I could think of from what I love and what I know to help her. It does take time, yeah? If any of you guys are going through any kind of health things at the moment, it's not going to happen overnight, so don't expect it to happen overnight, because it didn't come on overnight. Okay, but the advice that she was given around the time of our wedding, she was very stressed, irregular periods, take the pill. Take the pill. Just take the pill. It'll fix it all. Just take the pill. And I fought with her. We did fight about it because I don't like the pill for just a band-aid approach because of what happens after you try to get off the pill. Anyway, long story short, Jess and I, have a beautiful, healthy 2-year-old. Her health is fantastic. And it's not because of anything other than consistent effort. Just consistent effort. Like, we eat out. We don't eat healthy 100% of the time. Like my best friends here, we don't eat healthy at all when we're together, right? And we don't, and we enjoy it, right? What I'm trying to get at is we enjoy our life still. So you can have a bit of that 10, 20% of whatever you like, and then get back on track and still have somewhat of a healthy lifestyle, right? But the most important thing that I found is the impact it has when you have good health and everything else in your life, right? Everything else in your life gets impacted in such a positive way when you simply have better health. Okay, and this is, for me, why it's so important. The next person I'd like to bring up is my sister-in-law. So just give her a sec. So Nancy has quite a unique story as well, and she's going to give you my first either nephew or niece, so I can't wait. But Nancy's got quite a unique story, so I'll let her share it with you.
Thanks, Anthony. My journey has been a long one, but I guess it all started when I was growing up. I guess what would be considered like skinny fat, like although I don't look it now. But I was always thin and I used to eat whatever I wanted. Like I took it for granted, lots of drinking in your teenage years and, bad habits. Then I met Alex, the love of my life, and he changed everything alongside his brother through the gym. So I started strength training. I used to train at like Fitness First and do the cycle classes. Alex used to laugh at me. And he's like, you come into PTA, you're going to lift weights. And then working with a nutritionist, I found out I had an autoimmune disease, which is called chronic active Epstein-Barr. Very long-winded. But essentially, like throughout my 20s, I was like, in a month, like 2 weeks of the month, I would be bedridden. I was like sick with flu symptoms. My body was just run down, stressed, not sleeping well, all the rest of it. So I went, similar to Jess, I went on like an anti-inflammatory diet, which I still do today. Although when I'm pregnant, I have a little sneaky cookie. But I'm allowed to with ice cream. And that's my craving right now. No gluten, no dairy, cut out drinking. I worked in corporate, so you were always drinking, bad habits. I'm sure Joe knows, always getting. So I moved away from that world, made a lot of changes, lifestyle changes. And I can't thank the boys enough, even till today. I'm still training. I was there this morning. One of the clients, actually, she's here. She's like, you're my motivation. You're pregnant and you're training. I'm very flattered that I'm still in good health, that I can train through my pregnancy. Last year, it hit early in the year. I wasn't feeling well, I was bloated, and usually I'm not, like I'm really healthy, so if I'm bloated, like something's off. I found out I had endometriosis, just came out of nowhere, but then I realised it's tied to my autoimmune disease. And I was at work, my cyst ruptured, I had to be stretched out in an ambulance, it was not pretty. And from then I ended up in hospital. They looked at, like I had so many cysts. I had a 6 centimetre cyst that was like ready to burst. And the only thing they could tell me was I had to take suppositories to like alleviate the pain for the next period when it was going to come. So like I was really nervous because I was like, I've got 1 month to like figure it out before my next period comes because, it might happen again. Got onto Zinzino straight away. And the next month I had no pain, nothing. The cysts had cleared and then we fell pregnant 3 to 4 months after. And it's been a blessing. Thank God. So it was also scary because, you think of endometriosis, you think, you're never going to fall pregnant. And, I'm sort of age, so I'm like, I hope it happens for us. So, no, thank God it's been a blessing. Thanks.
So guys, as you can see, health shows itself, or disease or poor health shows itself in different ways. But what was the kind of similar underlying thing that everybody was talking about? Inflammation, lifestyle, things that cause these things to happen. So like I was saying before, inflammation is the same. How it presents is very different on everybody. Okay, so thank you to those of you that got up and gave that testimonial. I know I kind of put you on the spot and you can't say no to me, so I do appreciate it. I do have one more, and this one is quite a special one. I'm going to invite my father up. So when he's ready. Just come for a sec. I think we had one. No, he knew about this. Don't worry. This is my dad.
G'day.
Hey, Dad. He's quite special to me, not just because he's my dad, but he's the best man that I know. And health in our family has never been good. From our parents, like my grandparents, my dad's parents, health has definitely taken its toll on our family. My dad, had to kind of experience something that I don't wish on my worst enemy, with his own father and with how my grandfather passed away, and it's definitely impacted his approach to his health, how my whole family looks at health now. I'm not going to ask you to talk about that, but I am going to ask you just to talk about some of the changes you've made, and how it's helped you just with your day to day. So just keep this to you.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Actually, I don't need this.
No, this is not for you. It's for the phone.
Oh, it's for the phone. Okay. I naturally have a voice that projects. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Arthur. Let me see. Late last year, early this year, took a blood test. Alexander took it for me, and then started taking Zinzino. I have a laugh with my wife because for those of us who grew up or socialised around the 80s, you remember the drink Chinzano? So I called it Chinzano, and it just motivated me to take it every day, right? Right? Doesn't taste like it, right? But it's a nice jingle. There's a similarity to the name. Anyway, I started taking Zinzino. Zinzino. I started taking Zinzino. And look, within 6 weeks, I've always had chronic knee pain because I used to play football, a lot of football and squash. And if any of you have played those sports, it does jar your joints, particularly football when it's a body contact sport. And I had a couple of dislocations. I didn't think anything of it because in my 30s and 40s, I was much slimmer, but relatively strong. Obviously, as I aged, I really started to feel the pain, and the pain was awful. I'd wake up during the middle of the night. I couldn't kneel. It was very difficult to squat, especially if you're trying to maintain your home, do your gardening, mow the lawns, just do simple things around the house. Got a grandson. You talk about legacy. To see my own offspring now become a father was the most profound experience for me. But now I found that when he was just a little boy, a toddler, it was really difficult to bend and pick him up. The Zinzino made a huge difference. Zinzino made a huge difference. Yeah, it made a huge difference. I have been free of knee pain, both my knees, since March or thereabouts, okay? And Jackie and I have started frequently going to our son's business, to the gym, and to do the squats and the weights that Alexander has put me on as part of my program, and to be able to do it with no pain is an absolute joy.
Keeping you away from the gym before with the knee pain?
Fear, right? No, that's what truly fear, right? Because I knew what was going to happen if I tried to exercise, and I knew how my body was going to feel after I finished. I didn't want to go through that, okay? So that balance oil and meeting Anthony's beautiful colleagues over time and getting to know them has made a huge difference, because it's not just about the oil, it's all of a sudden when you talk to the people who are just knowledgeable, it's quite an inspiration. We struggle with motivation. Motivation is difficult, but if these wonderful people can inspire me to change a habit and become more disciplined and do it consistently, I'm already feeling the difference. I've actually lost weight as well. Yeah, for a while I couldn't wear this suit, and truly, and I hated myself for putting on weight because I'd been very fit and athletic for such a long time, but bad habits crept in. It's incredible how that balanced oil, what it did to this as well, right? Because I was starting to feel better with my knees. I actually have diagnosed with a bit of arthritis in a couple of discs in my neck back in 2017. And I've had moments where it's been very difficult to do this or to do this. Now I'm doing it absolutely pain-free. Another reason why I no longer am fearful about going to the gym and doing the training and particularly the resistance training and the program that Alexander's got me on. So that's my testimony. I think I've gone for too long, but you get me in front of a group of people and I'm in my element. I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of both of them. Actually, it's a beautiful day for both of us because we're here with our sons and our daughter-in-laws, or our daughters. So, thank you.
All right, guys. I just told me the time. It's 8:20. It's 8:30. I did tell you it's going to be an hour, so I do apologize for going back in time. If anybody wants to hang and ask me any questions, I'm here. But I just want to say an absolute thank you to each and every one of you. I truly, truly appreciate the time you've taken to be here tonight. I hope you've taken something away from tonight. Just keep fast forwarding all the way to the end. If you can, there's a QR code I want you guys to take.
There isn't.
There isn't? Oh, what happened? It's not there? Oh, man. All right. If you guys want my book, I'll send it to you. It's got literally everything I spoke about today there, but also a lot more stuff that you can be able to implement and utilize into your own lives. If you want it, I can send it to you guys in an email. I have your emails, everyone that registered, so I can send it to you guys that way. I'll do it first thing in the morning. But thank you guys so much. I do appreciate it. Thank you.